What's going on, guys? CaRtOoNz here, and welcome to episode 2 of my battle tips series here on For Honor. In case you're just joining us, I'm leading the Knights of For Honor into battle, and in order to do so, I need you guys to know how to fight. So, this episode is going to talk to you about more advanced moves with each of the classes within the Knights. This is not going to be your basic move tutorial. This is going to be an in-depth look at the move set of each of the classes and the strengths and weaknesses of each moves. Maybe when you should use them, when you shouldn't use them, stuff like that. Either way, you guys want to learn and I want to teach, so let's jump right in. The Vanguard is the jack of all trades class for each of the factions. As far as the Warden goes, we'll start with the light attack combo. If you hit from the side with the light attack and you hit that side again, it's a guaranteed hit. All right, like you saw, boom, boom. You see that? It's a guaranteed double hit if you swing for the same side twice and the first one lands. Watch, watch, boom, boom. See? It's beautiful. Guaranteed damage is great. All right, next up is gonna be the crushing counter strike, which is basically your high light attack like that. If you do it just as their high attack's about to land, ooh, just like that, it's an automatic counter and an automatic hit. All right, now we're gonna talk about, boom, the zone attack, which is light and heavy attack together. You see how fast it is? It costs a lot of stamina for the amount of damage it does, but because it's so fast, you can fit it into a lot of things and interrupt your opponent and just kind of use it sparingly so they don't really know what to expect and you can catch them by surprise. All right, next up, is this running slash. I know it looks basic, all right? All you do is while you're sprinting with the left stick, boom, hit the right trigger. It looks basic, but that slash is so fast that it can open up a lot of opportunities for you. So be sure to try to fit it in where you can, because I'm telling you, it's worth it. Next up, we're going to be talking about the shoulder bash. Boom, like this. And after you shoulder bash, you can shoulder bash mix up. You see here, once you hit with the light attack, if you chain it with X, you can go between light attack, shoulder bash, light attack, shoulder bash. And I mean, obviously you can do different variations of that, but you can also use shoulder bashes to push them into objects, you know, push them off cliffs, stuff like that. It's very versatile for zoning and those type of things. Moving on to the Conqueror, who's a heavy. Heavies are the most resilient, tanky class of any of the factions. The Conqueror, the cool thing about him, I talked about it a little bit before, but you see this block? His block cancels chains. So once again, as soon as he hits a block, it's over. All right, their attack is done. He also charges up the heavy attack by holding the right trigger. Of course, if you're on Xbox like me, the heavy attack goes through 2 different stages as it charges, and once it hits the second stage, it hits like a damn truck. It's amazing. I love it. I love it. All right, next up we got his shield bash, which is great for zoning. You can see here I use it to get him out of his healing aura and take him over here where I can finish him off. You also have the shield bash mix-up with, I can't even talk, shield bash mix-up, which basically, once you land a heavy attack, you can confirm it with the X button if you're on Xbox, and he'll do a shield bash there. You can also do it here by clicking in the left stick and running, and then hitting X, boom, and doing a running shoulder charge, which, once again, there's many different situations where that is amazing, all right? Here we got his zone attack, which if you hold down light and heavy, he'll do it until he runs out of stamina. But right here, you'll see if you go into revenge mode, right here, let's say you're surrounded by enemies, you can hold it down, and since you don't burn stamina in revenge mode, you can just beat down until the cows come home. Or until you get dizzy, one of the two. All right, right here, we got it's called Conscript's Attrition, but it's basically just an infinite light chain. You see this? He never stops until he runs out of stamina. So you can just keep swinging, and it's really good against people who might not be too good at following which direction they need to block, and you can just pressure them to death. All right, now we're going to talk about the full block stance, which is like his ultimate defensive maneuver. You can see here it blocks every angle of attack, but it does cost stamina. That's why I would recommend, if you're fighting one person, just use the regular block, but if you're surrounded by multiple opponents, the full block stance will save your life. Now, the assassin class is the 1v1 specialist, and the Peacekeeper is no different. However, just like every other assassin, she does not hold her guard, all right? Every other character, if you hold your thumbstick in a direction, your guard is constant. You can see here, watch. When I hold it to one side, you see the little white icon disappear? You've only got a small window to block, so you have to time your blocks right when you're about to get hit to make them effective. But that's not her only line of defense, all right? She's got a deflect, which you can dash by hitting the A button on the Xbox, whichever direction. Like if you see here, he attacks from the top. If I dash toward him, dash toward him, dash toward him, just as the icon flashes red, you get this deflect. And once you get the deflect, you can confirm it with the light attack button. Boom, just like that, and you do an unblockable stab that applies a bleed. Boom! It really punishes people that are aggressive if you get your timing down, and pretty much it just makes them look like a damn fool, a dead fool. All right, next up is her dagger cancel. So if you watch here, see if I can get it off. When she does a heavy attack like this, you can cancel it by hitting the light attack before the heavy attack finishes, and she'll pull back her heavy attack and hit with the light attack that applies a bleed. It's good for confusing your opponent, making them think you're going for a big heavy hit, when in actuality, just like this, watch. Boom, you just hit them with the bleed and they don't see it coming. Next up, we're gonna talk about the sidestep strike, which is one of her bread and butter moves to me. Once again, you just sidestep left to right and then confirm with the right trigger. And as soon as you land that stab, if you confirm with the boom, boom, with the light attack right after the heavy attack, she'll apply a bleed with the stab. And it goes the same for the dashing thrust, which is basically dashing toward them and hitting the same button. It's her best move for closing distances, so use it as such. This here is the stab, which is when you grab with the guard break, you can hit the right, don't hit me, you can hit the right bumper 3 times and apply a massive bleed. It's her strongest bleed in the game. So you can use it like to end up a combo. You end like this and you got so much damage coming off of them. The cool thing about it, if they're out of stamina, you can stab them twice and then cancel the stab and still kick them down on their ass and get some more damage in. Here again, you can see boom, boom, up and kick them down. And then you can still get more damage. This is actually, I think, a more damaging combo than just doing the 3 stabs. So use it effectively. Now, realistically, the best advice I can give you is when you get your hands on a class that you like, play it, play it, play it. The longer you get behind the sticks and the longer you practice duels, the better you're gonna get with the class, and the more you're gonna understand the little nuances and the tiny little things like timing and what class you're good against and what class you're bad against, stuff like that. You gotta learn your matchups and you gotta learn your strengths and your weaknesses, and the only way to do that is to put in the time. But hopefully you learned something from this video, and maybe you picked up on a little key point here or there about some of their moves that you were confused about. Either way, I need you guys to practice, I need you guys to strap up, and I need you guys' help to push the samurai and the Vikings back where they belong, because the Knights, it's time for us to reign victorious. If you didn't catch my Battle Tips 1 video, be sure to bounce back and check that so you can get caught up on the knowledge you need to push the Knights forward. And also be sure to stay tuned, because Battle Tips episode 3 is just around the corner. I love you guys and thanks for the support and all this, and I'll catch you on the next one. Later.
Yeah. Watching cartoons up in my room.
Watching cartoons up in my room.
Yeah. Watching cartoons up in my room.
Watching cartoons up in my room.
Yeah. Watching cartoons up in my room.
Watching cartoons up in my room.
Yeah. Watching cartoons up in my room.